Hi Aquarius, I hope that everybody's doing well. So there have been some themes of stuff that I've been seeing lately, some things that I've been reading about that may be relevant to your journey at this point in time. I I have been looking a lot into oversharing, like what is the line between oversharing and then what is on the other side of that, where it's like you're sharing enough that people feel trusting of you and you're being authentic and you're not hiding things in a way where people become suspicious, and then where does that cross over to you sharing too much information, or like not reading the room, or not being receptive to holding space, or maybe if you're in a leadership position, maybe this is relevant for some in a leadership position, or like where you are in charge. This can even be like in childcare, or maybe you're in charge of a company or a business, or maybe you're the manager of some people. And it's about not using your power as a means of like compensating for some like emotional loneliness that you're feeling, where you're oversharing things, like things that are inappropriate to be sharing. Okay, so maybe this is something that we're addressing. I always find it interesting to read about this stuff and about the boundaries and the lines, which are different for each of us, as it is a personal journey for us to be discovering. But it's something that is important to me and that makes me feel good when I try to assess that for myself and what feels comfortable with me for sharing and not sharing, and where that line is and what's appropriate, especially to the area where you are. Like a therapist, for example. A therapist is kind of supposed to be like a blank slate in a way, to be a reflective sounding board for you. So it's like you shouldn't know a bunch of personal information about a therapist, at least in my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And I was also, this ultimately all went back to a sense of trust. And I was listening to a talk on that Brene Brown was giving, which I really love a lot of the talks that I've heard her do. I was listening to a TED talk, and she was talking about what the basis of trust was, like as a construct and what it breaks down into. And one of the things that struck me, me personally, I really stray away and try to stay away from people that I feel like gossip, and it always put me off. But she put it in such a nice way when she was discussing it, and like her working definition of gossip was sharing stories that are not yours as currency. And I love that, because you know when somebody's trying to break the ice, or like you have a coworker that comes to you and they're sharing information that isn't theirs to share, but they're doing it for currency, like to get an in or something like that. Just an example. I really appreciated the way that she put that, because it felt very pragmatic, a very pragmatic example. So maybe these are things that we're addressing, maybe things that we're discovering, maybe actions of ours that we're also looking at too, because I think being reflective and applying it both to ourselves and things outside of ourselves is very important as well. So we're being realistic and not being like, I'm perfect, I never do that. But to catch ourselves and to be aware, so we're not projecting onto others. All right, so end of the short time story. We are going to get into this now. Before we get started, my name is Gabriella, for anybody new tuning in. Before we get started, I would like to set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. This also is reminding me too, sometimes when I'm around people, and you can't always control the people that you're around, like you have to go to work and be around like coworkers, or you want to go to a family event and some people are there that may feel triggering to you. It's about being able to look at your environment and figure out how you want to enter into that space where you feel good about what you're doing. Like maybe setting a time limit on certain people that you spend time with, or having the courage to speak up about what you're comfortable or not comfortable sharing information on, or even listening to, like some things you don't want to hold space for because you feel like it drags you down. And what I've noticed is that when I'm around people that like seemingly constant topic of discussion is like other people, I feel like it drains my energy, because I feel like there's so many like huge, big, grand topics to be talking about. And that's also why when I read tarot, I like for this to be a reflective process where it's like me as the reader is more like your higher self, like not me personally, Gabriella, having a conversation with you. It's kind of like you having a conversation here with your higher self, and me as your higher self pointing out things to you that you may not consciously be aware of, but that you know. And that's what tarot is supposed to be. It's kind of like a confirmation of what you already know that resonates with you. And so if you ever see a reading that you're like, oh, that doesn't really resonate with me, especially when we're talking about general readings, then the message is not for you. Because tarot shouldn't be like giving you these ideas that you never thought of before, like maybe that puzzle piece could fit there. It's all about confirming what already is making sense to you. That is what tarot should be, at least in my opinion, my personal opinion. So yeah, maybe a message for somebody else as well. But yeah, when I tend to be around people that just discuss other people, I feel like it's draining, because there's so many large things that we can talk about. And that's why I like the tarot to be like more on the spiritual side, because it's like what's happening with your relationship between you and yourself. And maybe another person pops into the reading because there's something that we need to address, like our behavior or their behavior that we need to be aware of, or something that we're trying to figure out how we feel. And that's, I feel like, when those other people come into the readings. But I like it to primarily be like a conversation about what's happening in your personal world, and also things much bigger than our interpersonal relationships. I like for tarot to also be about connecting you with like your spirituality and your intuition, so it's empowering for you rather than something that feels low vibrational. And as I'm saying that, I'm looking at the Ace of Cups popping out here, which the Ace of Cups to me in a lot of ways represents divinity. It represents who you really are at your core, and divinity in a big sense, where it's like your powers, your abilities, your gifts, like what you want to share with the world, like your very, very deep sense of unconditional love, both for yourself and for those around you as well. It covers a lot of bases here. And maybe now we're learning to use our gifts in a way where it's connected with the job that we're fulfilling as well. Maybe bringing a sense of love into the job that we're pursuing, the career that we're pursuing, what we feel like we've been destined to take up the role of. For some of us, I'm seeing that we're getting very serious about our business here. I'm seeing us on a very straight and narrow path that we feel we've been guided upon, destined to walk in this particular direction. And I'm seeing the guides being supportive of this path that you found yourself upon. There may be some people in your life that you're getting reconnected with. For some, this could be a birthday, like a birthday, a party, a celebration of somebody that you've known for quite some time. Maybe a birthday is coming up. Interesting. Maybe for your birthday you saw some people that you have history with. Friends, family, things like that. But like for some, there could be somebody's birthday coming up that's important to you, and you maybe, I'm hearing revisiting, visiting. I'm also hearing reconnecting. Maybe a Pisces. Pisces season is now. Or maybe an Aries. I'm looking at Taurus here. I'm looking at the moon. I'm looking at Scorpio as well. So it's like a sense of regeneration when it comes to your gifts and abilities, maybe things you want to be focusing on, maybe things that you even feel like you were destined to be pursuing and living out in this lifetime. Like, I'm seeing even like a whole expansion that we're doing in relation to our gifts and our abilities. Maybe a craft that we're approaching differently too. I'm hearing groundbreaking. I'm seeing something that we do career-wise in a position that we feel guided by spirit to step into. And I'm seeing there be information that you're getting from your guides. Confirmation that you're on the right path. Now let's see what's happening here. There may be somebody that you've known for quite some time. I'm hearing lifetimes. Maybe this is somebody from a past life. I'm seeing somebody come through to speak with you. I'm hearing making contact. Wow. I'm getting, you might not know this person yet in this lifetime, but it's somebody you have a spiritual connection with. They may see you, you might meet this person through work, through something that you do. You could do something, I'm seeing somebody that's like higher up in a company, like a manager, something like that. Maybe somebody that runs their own business. I'm also seeing, so this could also be somebody that you write, you analyze things, anything with like words and putting them down, stuff like that. You could do something spiritual as well, something like ministry related or spiritually related. You could do something of an esoteric nature. I'm seeing like things of the 12th house as well with the High Priestess. The High Priestess can speak on psychology. It can speak on jails, hospitals, many other things. And I'm also looking at the Hierophant, which when we're talking about the 9th house, which the Hierophant represents, which is Sagittarius's house, this can speak on writing. Very interesting. And we're also looking at Scorpio, so this can be things of an occult nature as well. That's a wide breadth of things. But yeah, past life person that's going to be coming through. I'm seeing somebody that's, I'm hearing prepared to be vocal. Like this would be somebody that doesn't have an issue holding a conversation. Somebody that you may even perceive to be quite a pragmatic speaker. Like they may have, I'm getting like a Mercury in the 3rd type of vibe. I'm hearing back to the beginning. I'm seeing it be like rewinding all the way back to somebody's spiritual awakening. It's like they went through a spiritual awakening that was the catalyst of which may have been an interpersonal relationship that we felt very connected with, something that we held a lot of love for, something that was almost like overflowing within us. And it's like whatever happened was the catalyst for us to go through a transformation and to completely go within ourselves here, maybe even to give us a direction on career, things of that nature. And it helped us get more in touch with our gifts and abilities that we were supposed to be using in relation to a job that we were meant to perform, that we feel guided to perform, and something that we feel very empowered when we do this. We feel very creative, we feel very confident pulling this off, whatever it is that we're engaging within. Maybe also, for some of us, there could have been large breaks that we had from interacting with others, or maybe a lot of reflection time that we've had because we needed to really find ourselves and like who we were. And I'm seeing that be part of this, getting connected with our guides, getting connected with a higher sense of knowledge, a higher sense of knowing. For some, you could have found out that Maybe gotten in touch with a deep sense of intuition, maybe also psychic abilities, things of that nature. It's like something that you came to understand, you were able to do, or something that you were able to, you learned that you had access to. I'm hearing Akashic records. I'm hearing timeline history. It's like there may be something that you're discovering you did in a past life that now you're working on in this lifetime too. Like maybe, again, maybe you did something in a past life that you're like finishing the work of in this lifetime. You know that you're meant to be doing this. I'm also seeing two figures here. There could be somebody coming through that you actually worked with in a past lifetime that you're going to be working with again. Like you have some sort of mission together. I am looking at counterpart energy here. You could have been partners in some way with this person in the past. For some, this is romantic, or you could have had a physical relationship with this person in the past. This is somebody that you're going to feel attracted to, but I don't know if it's going to be romantic when they come through. But it's like the way that they present themselves, the way that they communicate, you feel attracted to this. This may be somebody too that you get the sense that they're confident, both about the words that they speak and maybe about who they are as an individual. Like, and I'm not saying that deeply at their core this is for sure who they are, but I'm saying that like they may come across in that way to you. Like that's how you would perceive them. I'm hearing spiritual. You may perceive them as somebody spiritual, somebody creative, somebody very intelligent, somebody attractive. Again, this doesn't have to be romantic, although it can be. But it's like there's something about their vibe that you feel drawn to. And they look like somebody that knows what they are doing. And for good reason. This may also be somebody well-informed. As I said before, somebody intelligent, somebody well-spoken. I'm looking at Virgo. I'm hearing Pisces. I'm looking at Scorpio. I'm looking at the moon. I'm looking at Taurus. Very intriguing, guys. I'm looking at Pisces popping out here. I was feeling that energy. So what's going on with this? Okay, I'm getting a specific message for somebody that is dealing with a Pisces. They may have had an opportunity to end a relationship and they may not have taken that opportunity. It's really interesting that this is coming through. That I'm picking up that may be a very specific message for someone. For others, there could have been, and I mean, this can be the Pisces in your chart. It doesn't have to be somebody outside of you. There could have been like an opportunity that was given to you or that you opened up to somebody else and the person didn't take that or you didn't take that opportunity and now something has come to an end. Like somebody could have wanted to initiate something with you and you, I'm hearing we're against taking this opportunity, and so like something came to a stop here. I'm also hearing a close. I'm also hearing full circle. I'm also hearing full cycle. Like maybe you completed a cycle with somebody. Maybe too, there was somebody that you gave an offer to and they still had to end a cycle yet, so they couldn't engage. I'm hearing not available. Like maybe somebody wasn't available. Again, that feels very specific. I don't know if everyone's going to resonate with that. And I'm not really sure what it's alluding to, but here we are. Maybe somebody needed to hear that. Okay. And it doesn't have to be a Pisces. This can be somebody that you see as being like kind of elusive or hard to pin down in a way. You know, it's interesting too, like a lot of people when they're generically labeling Aquarius, they say aloof, but I feel like Pisces energy can be very aloof as well. Because when we talk about Neptune, we talk about something that like constantly is slipping through your hands and you can't grasp it. It can be that. Yeah, I'm getting a very specific message about this energy of Pisces. Again, this can be the Pisces that's in your chart. It doesn't have to be a person outside of yourself. But for some, this is absolutely a person making some sort of romantic gesture. Like something that they've thought about doing, I'm getting. Like something they've been patient with. I feel like this came up in the last Aquarius reading. I'm getting something here about Neptune contacts. Maybe you have Neptune contact with somebody in your synastry with them. I'm seeing somebody that's coming through that wants to message you. But I don't know if you're going to take this offer from them. You'll know how this is because if the offer comes through and it doesn't like spark anything within you, that's what this is talking about. This is like the same setup that I saw the other day in the Aquarius reading. It was like somebody giving an offer to the Emperor here. Maybe you have an Aries in your life too. I'm looking at Pisces, I'm looking at Aries. Maybe a Mars in Pisces. Maybe Neptune in Aries. Interesting. I'm seeing Pisces. I'm seeing a message that was not taken, and I'm seeing a figure here. I'm seeing a masculine figure here. I'm seeing a relationship coming to an end, and now I'm looking at the Lovers. So this can be somebody that ended a relationship with somebody that they were dating, or that they were partners with. But it's like after this ending, there's a new opportunity. Like somebody comes through. It's almost like I'm seeing one cycle come to a close, and then it's like immediately another cycle is beginning. And it has to do with relationships here. So like maybe there's somebody that you have some sort of involvement with, if this is not you, that is in a relationship that just came to an end and they're like already starting a new relationship. This definitely isn't random information. I'm seeing this be closely tied to somebody here. We're going to get more on this as we get further with the cards. It's just a bizarre setup to see together. Like, it feels almost kind of ungrounded too, especially with the Neptune. Like, there may be something that's going to take some time. Yeah, you may be finding out that somebody's single, actually. But I'm seeing some sort of partnership coming to fruition. I'm looking at Gemini, I'm looking at Neptune, which is Pisces, and I'm looking at Aries, which is ruled by Mars. And now I'm looking at Capricorn. There could be an offer that comes through from somebody that is out of balance. Like, you get weird vibes from this person. It feels, I'm hearing incoherent for some. It feels out of touch. It feels out of balance. Maybe a sense of intensity that feels uncomfortable to you. It's almost like this may come out of left field, but I'm seeing you not take it. Because it's like you're building something important to you here, and you don't want it to affect your progress. And it's like I'm seeing you above this energy anyway. I'm not sure what exactly that means. We're channeling here. Maybe like not affected by it, by this frequency. But I'm seeing something kind of low vibe come through. But this can be any type of offer. Like, this can be somebody actually physically coming through, like messaging you. Like, somebody that's out of balance. You'll know it because it doesn't feel, I'm hearing genuine to some, but maybe it just feels out of touch, or it feels like not, like the person isn't reading the room, something like that. For some, this can be somebody you're already in a relationship with or something like that, and it's like something happens that feels weird to you or out of balance. Maybe something that feels like codependent or obsessive to you, but it's like something that has come to an end now, or that is ending. I know this is a bit jumbled. We're reading for a lot of people here, so there are a lot of different messages coming through in relation to this. So it's like there was somebody that you were with potentially in the past that was super out of balance, but it's like you're not taking offers from this person anymore. Maybe because you know maybe what you deserve now at this point. It's like you've made progress with like building your empire, building your self-esteem, and maybe doing things on your own too. Like, I'm getting a sense of independence here as well. And it's like you don't want to be restricted by something. And maybe that's also why you're not taking any more offers. Like, maybe you recognize that somebody was out of balance, and so you didn't want to participate in a relationship with them. And a relationship is anything that we're exchanging energy with, right? So I'm seeing an ending happen, but I'm getting that this happened in the past, because it's like you've gone a distance since whatever ending this was. And now I'm looking at the Lovers pop out. Yeah, maybe you felt drawn towards this person, but you felt disappointed by the way that things happened. I'm hearing past memory. It's almost like you could have broken up with somebody or went through a sort of breakup, and it's like when they come back, you still feel disappointed about the way that things turned out. Something like that. But I'm seeing that you've built a type of stability for yourself. But maybe somebody that you felt drawn to or felt was your counterpart, in a way you recognize that there was work that they still needed to do and that you guys couldn't be together. Okay, I'm getting another message come through. This, I don't know what is up with this spread. There's so many different storylines. So I'm seeing that somebody made an offer to someone that like the offer that came through was for an actual ending. And it's like, once this person went through an ending in relation to a cycle or an interpersonal relationship, it was like there was an actual offer of love that came through, and they felt very drawn to this person here. But it's like what came to fruition was something out of balance. And it's like maybe they feel disappointed by the way that things progressed in relation to who they are, because maybe they felt like this person was a counterpart. Because I'm looking at the Emperor and the Empress here, but it's like I'm being very drawn to Capricorn's energy. It like keeps pulling me over here. Like something was definitely, I'm hearing out of whack. Something was out of balance. Maybe you're somebody that feels like you've gone through like ascensions, or you describe yourself as somebody spiritual, and it's like whatever frequency like you ended up being revealed to you that this person was in, like it felt low vibrational to you. Like it felt restrictive, because when we're talking about Saturn's energy, we talk about something that is restrictive. We talk about an energy that's very slow. We talk about something that's like tightening, that's squeezing, where you feel like you can't move or you can't breathe, you can't expand. It's like very opposite from like Jupiter energy, which is about like excess and expanding. Capricorn energy is kind of about sparsity in a way. So maybe you recognize that like this was something that you were experiencing. So I'm looking at Neptune here, I'm looking at Aries, I'm looking at Gemini, I'm looking at Capricorn, I'm looking at Venus. And this can always be you with yourself here. Like this can be you interacting with different pieces of your chart as well. It's always important to highlight that. And normally things that are going on with us, like with us in relation to like the planetary transits and whatnot, that internal process can also be something that you see reflected outside of yourself as well. Like in addition to whatever's happening planetarily speaking. That has been my experience. So somebody's coming through to help you out, maybe with something you feel confused about in a dynamic that you have. I'm seeing the Ace of Pentacles come through to help you out with the sense of confusion you feel within an interaction that you have. I'm looking at Leo energy here. I'm seeing some similarities to Libra's reading. If you feel guided, check that out. With the way that the cards are laying out, yeah. So if you've been looking for guidance, you meditating and grounding is what's going to help you, because there may be a lot of different options or things that you're trying to manifest right now. Maybe a lot of different messages that are coming through too for you. Maybe a lot of different feelings that you're having as well. I'm seeing somebody that we're working with here. I'm looking at Sagittarius, I'm looking at Mercury, I'm looking at Leo. But it's like you're going to find your way through this situation, this interaction that you have, this collaboration that you have. It's just about being patient and having the strength to work through it, and to do so with a cleared heart space. It's like having the strength to trust, to find your compassion. I'm hearing bearing your soul. There may have been something that happened that you feel like you needed to address within the heart space. Because when we talk about the Strength card, we talk about healing energy, we talk about patience, we talk about trust, we talk about loyalty. I'm also hearing friendship. And this is about finding the inner strength as well to endure and outlast something that in the past we had felt hurt by. It's like really having the strength to clear the heart chakra here, to heal. I'm seeing something deeply subconscious. It's almost like a subconscious wound. Okay, so it's like the more you meditate and reflect, you may even be getting messages from your guides too. I'm seeing you're going to gain clarity on something that before you had felt confused by, or maybe like there was so much stuff coming through that you didn't know what to do with it. Like so many options. This can be like feeling so many different things. You don't even know like what you're truly feeling. Or it's almost like feeling so many things, but they're kind of coming in at the same frequency, so you don't know like what feeling's stronger and what feeling isn't as strong. But it's like I'm seeing you getting in touch with your intuition, with your deep emotions here, and I'm seeing you work with somebody that may help you balance out what's going on internally. Like they may be somebody patient, maybe a guide, maybe an angel for some, or a spirit guide that you work with. It's like this is somebody that helps you on your healing journey. They help you to take care of yourself and to prioritize yourself. And it helps you to keep your heart chakra clear, I'm hearing. Which puts you in touch with your gratitudes. I'm also hearing what you feel hopeful of, what you feel hopeful about. And it's like, I'm hearing in succession. I'm hearing you exit in succession. I'm seeing something that you've been very patiently waiting for, and maybe some healing that needed to be done that put you in touch with a wish fulfillment that you have. That is going to put you in touch with a wish fulfillment that you have. Very interesting, Aquarius. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of parallels between between the Libra and Cancer reading and also this one. So I'm seeing somebody that looks overwhelmed, but it's almost like they begin overwhelmed, and then as they prioritize and balance what they need to be addressing, I'm seeing them feel a sense of relief. I'm hearing relief and ease. Maybe within an interpersonal dynamic that they have. This can always be you with yourself. Yeah, it's like tension turns to happiness, I'm seeing, because you're learning to prioritize. I'm hearing prioritize you. It's like you're following your intuition to prioritize what you need to. Especially when it comes to your happiness and your joy, your creativity, the things that you find pleasure within. It's like because you feel grounded emotionally, you also feel more in touch with your happiness too. Maybe even because you're getting in touch with a deeper sense of happiness and like who you are. This reminds me of the notion too, when we numb or avoid or bypass certain emotions that we have, it really lowers the threshold. Like if ground zero is here for your emotions, when you're numbing or bypassing or avoiding feeling your emotions, it's like you can feel happy and it just goes up to here, and then you can feel sad and it just goes down to here. So it's like if you're avoiding feeling sad, like your happiness can only go so high, because there's like a lot of numbing that happens like at the baseline. But it's like when you can get in touch with like what you're actually feeling, what's going on, it's like even though your sadness you can start feeling that at a deeper depth, you can also start feeling your happiness at a much like grander scale as well. And it's also about balancing these things too. And I'm seeing somebody that, because they're learning to manage their emotions, I'm seeing them also genuinely begin to start feeling happy, because it's like they're ready to face that. They're ready to like care and hold their emotions, like care for what's going on in their emotional space, being honest with themselves, being authentic, being verbal with those around you that you care for, like those you want to be communicating with, setting boundaries from a grounded place, setting your intuition, feeling happy and fulfilled because you're doing that as well. And it's like the past, I'm hearing excitement, maybe the past excitement or stress, maybe excitement like anxiety that you had felt before because you didn't know how to like prioritize your happiness and maybe even yourself in relation to your relationships. It's like because you're learning how to do that and you're following your intuition through that process, I'm seeing you feel really happy. And it's like something is changing within your interpersonal relationships as well. It's like you feel very composed and you feel like you can articulate the things that you need to articulate while being honest and not feeling like you need to over explain to those around you. It's like gaining a sense of confidence too. All right, my friends, we are going to end it there. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I am wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.